Welcome to Unknown Theory. In today's video we'll talk about the theory as to why we think the host in Blue's Clues is on drugs.
Hello. It's a bug.
Actually, I'm a treasure bug.
A treasure bug?
Disclaimer, we can't confirm any of the theories or stories we talk about in our channel. All stated information is purely for entertainment purposes. Blue's Clues is an educational Nickelodeon show about a human host who welcomes his preschool audience to the Blue's Clues house, where his animated puppy, Blue, helps him find 3 clues to something they are trying to figure out. Viewers are invited to participate, with Blue and her friends stopping to listen to what the audience has to say. The show has a lot of colors, bad music, a talking dog, objects that come to life, animated furniture as if it weren't real, and the only actual person of the show is the host, Steve, a grown adult who does nothing but play around with anything. So after thinking for a while, we came up to the conclusion that Blue's Clues takes place in a drug addict's home, that being Steve. This theory is because of all the weird things going on in the show. First of all, we all know that dogs and mailboxes can't talk. These are massive hallucinations in Steve's drugged out mind. Also, he is the only real person in the show. His own image of himself is left unaltered as he travels through a trippy world of bright colors. Seeing vivid colors is a common side effect of hallucinogens and some narcotics. Steve sees inanimate objects as happy, friendly roommates who talk and even reproduce, such as Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper. These are severe hallucinations. Every episode, Steve will jump into a painting and be in that world for a brief period. He is actually intoxicating himself on his couch and watching the picture until he hallucinates he is inside them, a common effect of drugs like DMT, LSD and even mushrooms. Notice that he never goes to get his mail comes to him and even talks. Another theory of the mailbox is that in the mail is the next shipment of drugs itself. Every time he wants the mail he dances and sings for it and it opens immediately. Also, the music of Blue's Clues is really bad and Steve seems to love it. Another sign he is very, very high. Oh, and you know that child's voice you hear talking to Steve throughout the episodes. That could be his younger brother, Joe, telling him to stop and constantly watching him feed his addiction. In fact, the last episode in which Steve appears, shows him getting in a bus and leaving. According to the show, he was off to college, but you can clearly see Steve is an adult. We think that Steve getting on the bus isn't for college, but instead, his younger brother finally convinced him or forced him into a rehab program to treat his addiction. In fact, we found a Reddit user that says his kid loves Blue's Clues and that there is a special 100th episode which is hosted by Joe, Steve's younger brother, which explains the origin of Blue, the dog. Joe tells the story of how Steve was a really lonely kid with no friends, which could also be the reason he always talks to a bunch of preschool kids. One day he gets a book about Blue who is different from all the other dogs and lonely too. He wishes really hard for Blue to be real. That night Blue comes out of the book. With that explanation we can tell that Steve and Joe are emotionally abused and isolated. Steve started using drugs and lived in a fantasy world to deal with the abuse. Eventually he gets old enough to leave, but he can't save his brother Joe, so he teaches him how to escape the pain before running away.
I'm gonna miss you.
Personally, I never thought of this show like that, but after reading the theory, I instantly believed it. Besides, there are a lot of kids' TV shows that appear to be on drugs, such as the Teletubbies. Let us know in the comments below if you would like us to go over that theory as well. Also don't forget to like and subscribe.